Bernie Sanders recently held a medical debt town hall where he listened to people's stories about dealing with the current healthcare system and the impact that it's had on their lives. Now, one of the stories that came out of this is just a truly heart-wrenching story from a doctor, actually, about his wife. Watch.
My name is Dr. Jana Moody. I was part of the healthcare delivery system. I'm now teaching the next generation of future doctors and nurses. I'm a college professor. I'm also a widower. I'm a widower because the Affordable Care Act let my wife down. Not only let her down, Senator, if you can imagine a spouse concealing her colon cancer from her husband because she was afraid of the bill. I knew she was sick. I knew that she had had a bowel obstruction. It should have been easily taken care of, practically routine. But I was trying to navigate the care system with my colleagues, trying to understand billing. I was trying to understand gold, bronze, blue, yellow, whatever. I was trying to look at an employer health plan that was available to her that after her diagnosis, the employer canceled. And so on her first admission, she looked at me and she said, "Yanni, how much is this going to cost?" And I said, "I don't have any idea. I don't know. Don't worry about it. We'll get you better." And so I'd been working on that until March. My mother died that March of blessed memory. I didn't even get to bury her because I was up to my elbows trying to decipher plans. I was reading her care plan. I was trying to figure things out. 3 weeks later, she took me to the emergency room, and I was in ICU because my heart finally said, "This is enough. You can't do it." And that was a point there where she decided she was not going to say any more about her own illnesses. I found out she was terminal 5 days before she died. After she died, I was going through her things. And around a picture of her beloved greyhounds, there was a cash register receipt for pain medication from July. And on the back of it, she said, "I can't say anything about this. This is going to probably kill me, but you'll lose everything and that will kill you." I'm a doctor. I've got a prescription. It's Medicare-For-All. It's Medicare-For-All. And we're leaving here today with another prescription in our pocket. That prescription is you, Senator. 18 months from now, it's Mr. President.
So it's hard to know what to say about this story. It would be nice to say that this is just, a one-off thing. This isn't common, but it is. When you are in a system where there is a profit-making middleman, there are companies who the way they accumulate wealth is by denying people coverage, by being able to charge people more than what the healthcare actually costs the company. This happens all the time. So I'm coming from a position here where, as a Canadian, I live under a single payer system. Healthcare is never on my mind until I need it. If I'm sick, then I go to the doctor. I have a health card. I show my health card when I walk in. I see my doctor, often same day appointments. So if I wake up and I'm not feeling well, I can call the doctor's office in the morning, make a same-day appointment, see my doctor that afternoon, go in, see my doctor, get a prescription if I need it. Sometimes the prescription is covered, sometimes it's not. If it's not covered, it's like $10, $15. I mean, I've never had to pay that much for any prescription I've been given. And then I go home. And I had surgery once. It was scheduled months in advance. Got my surgery, came home. That was it. There's no being on the phone with insurance companies, no figuring out how I got to pay this bill or what out-of-pocket expenses are incurred here. None of that. It's just free at the point of use because it's paid for through your taxes. And under a Medicare-For-All system, the vast majority of people, 95% of people, this was looked into, 95% of people will pay less through their taxes than they currently do in private insurance. The only people paying more are the people at the top of society, the people that can afford to pay more. So you have a potential here to move to a Medicare-For-All system, but the only way you will is if you have a president who will fight for it. Who do you trust to fight for Medicare-For-All? The person that's been trying to fight for it for the past 40 years, Bernie has been unwavering on Medicare-For-All. For the past 40 years, he has talked about the need to guarantee people health care, has talked about how, why do all these other developed countries have health care guaranteed to them, but America doesn't? Bernie has been on this message his entire life. Or do you trust other candidates who either don't support Medicare-For-All, like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they don't support Medicare-For-All, or Elizabeth Warren, who didn't support it, then supported it, and now she released her healthcare plan just a few weeks ago, and it appears to half support it, but then doesn't support it when it comes to mental care. And just, again, somebody coming to the table with half measures. When you are running for president and you are already giving in, you are already capitulating to the right wing on your policies, as Elizabeth Warren is, do you really expect her to fight for Medicare-For-All? This is the difference here. You have two, you could say, progressive candidates in Bernie and Warren, but one you know will actually fight for you. The other one is already wavering on her plans, is already giving in to conservatives. So when you hear stories like this, this is what it's about. This is who you're fighting for. This is what you're voting for. There's one answer here, and it's Bernie Sanders.